Do you want to achieve big mainstream success? Is it something that you want to achieve?
I want to achieve big success, but I don't like the word mainstream being part of it. I kind of like the idea of tricking the mainstream into paying attention to us rather than joining their world. I kind of like the idea of sabotaging their world a bit and making them come over to our world.
But you were saying pop songs. Is it for you? Is it a good word to use?
Yeah, well, I mean, we love pop music as well as rock music, and that's why our melodies and stuff are really pop. I see us as we are quite a pop band. Really, if you take away the heavy guitars or whatever.
Yeah, it's a pop sensibility the way we write songs. It's about hooks and
that.
melodies and trying to have a fucking good chorus.
We like good pop music. There's some terrible pop music out there, but good pop music. I mean.
But what is nowadays good pop music?
Well, we've always been big fans of. The thing is, right now, I'm not sure if I like that much.
Yeah, there's not much good pop music now, is there?
But we did.
Lady Gaga, is it good?
I quite like some of the first album of Lady Gaga, yeah.
But when we mean pop, I suppose we mean stuff like.
Yeah, she probably will say.
When we describe
Fleetwood
us as
Mac.
being pop, we're thinking about another kind, like Nirvana's pop music.
Yeah.
To me, Nirvana, I mean, it's heavy sounding, but it's pop melodies, completely pop melodies, big choruses. That's pop, isn't it?
But do you ever think of recording maybe an unplugged album?
No, we've never thought about that. Till right now. I'm not sure if it'd be the right time to do that. Maybe sometime in the future we'll do that, but I think we've got a lot more to do with other sounds before we start calming down and playing everything fucking acoustically.
Well, it's been 2 years since, between the Box of Secrets and Fire Like This, and 2 years between Fire Like This and In Time to Voices. Do they exactly feel the same time span for you, or?
No, it felt like the gap between Fire Like This and In Time to Voices felt longer to me.
I think that's because we had less shows. So.
Yeah, and we spent more time writing, we had more freedom writing, so I think that gap, the period we spent preparing for the third record seemed longer, because we actually had more hours in a day to do it. I'd be up for the gaps being shorter.
Yeah.
Never seems to work out.
Yeah, and also people might just get really bored of us. They'll be like, oh, they're back again. It's another record.
Do you really think this way? Maybe you could say, maybe release an EP, or maybe release singles only.
We talk about stuff like that, and it all depends on the songs, and you can't predict what kind of song you're going to write. You just got to write and see what comes out. And so we'd be into doing those things if the song was right. If there's a song that seems right as just a single, we'd do it.
Ideally, we would like to do that, but we'll see.
Especially because I've always really wanted to release a 10-inch EP, 10-inch vinyl. How many people do 10-inch? Everyone does 12-inch, everyone does 7-inch, 10-inch. That's fucking badass. I want a 10-inch.
And how many tracks do you need for 10-inch?
3 or 4. I guess it depends how long they are. You could get 2 on each side if they're sort of short, slightly shorter.
Do you write constantly, or is it for you that you really have to pick a time to write songs?
We don't write constantly, but every now and again we might just be in sound check and we'll work something out. Or
kind of. You just get a bug. You just feel it. There's points where, and we usually kind of at the same time start to feel like, I really feel like jamming something new, and it just sort of happens. And then other times you want it to happen and it doesn't.
But is it only jam-wise, or is it also something that you maybe pick a guitar yourself and then start writing?
Sometimes we jam, and other times, like Laura, when one of the shows on tour, Laura was sat, there was a piano backstage, and Laura sat and played some piano chords and came up with a few vocal melodies, and we taped it on her phone, and that's really cool. And that didn't involve me at all. And just little bits and bobs. You just get little ideas, and then you kind of collect them all, and then when we're back from tour, it's easier for us to work on them because we have more space. And, if you're in a sound check, there's everybody in the venue's looking at you when you're trying to write songs. It's not nice when your crew and all the people that work at the venue, like someone's putting your t-shirts on the wall to sell them, kind of staring at you writing a song. It doesn't feel very comfortable. So we tend to collect all the ideas and then work on them when we get home and see where they go.
Does it get easier to write songs?
Yes and no.
Yeah, it gets easier to understand. Like actually singing-wise and stuff, I felt like we've grown a bit and we've learned. I think because we've learned quite a lot in that respect, feels easier in a way of like understanding a song, but then at the same time trying to make it good is still hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think we've learned a lot about it, and we've learned how to find the problems and where we think things should be better, but then coming up with something that is better is just as hard as it ever was.
Yeah, I think we've learned how to like know when we need to like push for something else that isn't quite right. Whereas before we might have just been like, it's cool, like just leave it. But
Yeah, there's bits on our first record, man, where we just went on too long.
Yeah,
And now it's like,
learned,
obviously that section just gets boring, man. Like, why did we repeat it so many times? You know, it's just because we've learned a thing now that kind of making things shorter can make them a bit more exciting. You know, stuff like that.